Good evening and welcome to another episode of Service to Humanity, your window into the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, bringing you activities of the ministry and her agencies as it carries out its mandate. Indeed, the National Social Investment Program, NSIP, is one tool the President Buhari administration has continuously used to turn around the lives of poor and vulnerable Nigerians, particularly in light of its achievements in using its different components to help Nigerians escape poverty. In terms of youth employment, Npower has made significant contributions through the numerous windows of opportunity. The M-Build aspect of Npower will be the subject of tonight's program. Still on the program, excerpts from an interview we had on the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, GEEP. Details in a moment. Do stay tuned.
I tell you, anytime we're not producing, the fish farmers suffer. The people we engage suffer. The people we feed, that we give our fish heads to, they feel it. I'll only beg the government to continue with this and make it run more.
We used to have children crying, parents will be chasing them to come to school, and they'll be at the gate, they'll be crying, they will hold on to their plate, they will not want to come into the gate.
When they are not giving the food, the attendance was very low.
Now the children are always fit and healthy because of the food they eat.
We make them attend class every day.
I eat rice, plates and carrots.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the federal government for the feeding program.
Before the program kicks off, let me wish all our Muslim viewers Barka da Sallah. May Allah accept all our sacrifices and answer our prayers. Service to Humanity starts off with the Management Diary, with news from the ministry and her agencies. In the news, 2 million households currently benefiting from cash transfer, even as NSIP issues 30 days ultimatum to private shelters and rehabilitation homes. Let's take those reports.
We are now advancing cash transfer to approximately 2 million households.
The conditional cash transfer program is currently helping more than 2 million households across the nation. This was made known to newsmen by the National Coordinator of the National Social Investment Program, NSIP, Engineer Umar Binder in Abuja, at a compliance check meeting of the clusters under the NSIP to mark the beginning of the Humanitarian Ministry's partnership with the National Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and other relevant agencies to probe compliance level of the NSIP in all states of the Federation.
As we speak, we are now advancing cash transfer to approximately 2 million households. This is households, not individuals. So if you approximately put 10 people per household, you're talking of probably like 20 million or so people that we're handling.
He added that the nation is already enjoying the multiplier effect of the programs.
We're beginning to see the multiplier effect. People who have gotten credits are now hiring one or more people. Therefore, the employment generation is improving. The graduates, some of them are actually exiting and establishing their businesses, and so on and so forth. So the most important thing is not really to look at the quantum of money that is injected, but the impact of the implementation, which we do very, very religiously.
The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NSIP, has given 1-month ultimatum to all organizations, shelters and homes offering services for the purpose of rehabilitation of trafficked persons in Nigeria to obtain clearance certificates to operate in the country or risk getting shut down and prosecuted in accordance with the agency's extant law. The ultimatum takes effect from Wednesday, 29th June 2022 and was announced by the Director General of NSIP, Dr. Fatima Waziri Azi, over the weekend in Abuja at a meeting with a segment of the agency's stakeholders. The ultimatum is based on the powers given to the agency under the Trafficking in Persons, Control of Activities of Organizations and Centers Regulations 2019 and the resolve of the agency to give more effect to it after the grace period earlier given to the organizations to comply has expired. The regulation was issued by the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mala Abubakar Malami, SAN, on 9th October 2019. The legislation, according to AZI, was necessitated by the disturbing cases of trafficking in persons by Nigerians under the guise of educational, cultural, and musical excursions, labor migration, and sport-related travels to foreign countries, especially the Middle East, Eastern, and Central Europe. AZI further explained that unscrupulous persons hide under the facade of being a travel agent, tour operator, or recruiter of labor to deceive, defraud, and lure naive victims to foreign countries for the purpose of exploitation, which takes the form of sexual exploitation, forced labor, debt bondage, slavery, and removal of organs. And it is projected that this regulatory function will reduce incidents of such cases.
Welcome back. One of the 4 components of the National Social Investment Program, NSIP, the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, GEEP 2.0, is another tool the federal government, through the Humanitarian Ministry, has used to provide social intervention for the nation's vulnerable. A lot of market women, local traders, and even farmers have registered to benefit from the loan scheme once disbursement starts. Tonight, we shall bring you an interaction our crew had with the national team lead of the GEEP 2.0 in Abuja, where she spoke extensively about the program. Let's have that story.
Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, GEEP, is an initiative by the federal government of Nigeria to provide financial inclusion and access to microcredit for Nigerians at the bottom of the economic pyramid. It is one of the 4 clusters of the National Social Investment Program, NSIPs. GEEP aims to provide capital to beneficiaries in an easily accessible way to grow their business and onboard these beneficiaries into the formal financial system through bank accounts, mobile wallets, and formal identities.
The GEEP program being one of the 4 NSIP programs.
Zainab Musawa, Technical Assistant to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, and Team Lead of the GEEP, shares with us how the program was created.
The GEEP program was created in 2016 when the NSIP programs, the National Social Investment Programs, were supervised under the office of the Vice President of Nigeria. And then the program was implemented by the banking industry, and they implemented the first phase of the GEEP program between 2016 to 2019.
GEEP was launched with 2 broad objectives: granting access to funding by providing microloans in an easily accessible way to those at the bottom of the pyramid who engage in commercial activities but face significant challenges with access to finance or credit, and granting financial inclusion through the microloan offers and access to finance by ensuring beneficiaries are brought under the formal financial sector and can further seize the opportunity to access other credit products from financial service providers. Considering the poverty index in the country, the GEEP program was restructured to accommodate and impact on the lives of more Nigerians.
One of the things the Honorable Minister directed was for us to restructure the program in a way that it will have more impact in the lives of people. And when we looked at the poverty index of this country, we realized that a certain group of individuals needed some kind of empowerment. And these individuals, following the poverty index map, were women, a lot of youth, and rural farmers. So the program was restructured, and it was unveiled to GEEP 2.0, which was the second phase and the restructured phase of the program. and this program was launched in August of 2021.
According to Musawa, part of restructuring the GEEP was ensuring the program had a representation at all focus levels, federal, state, and local government level.
We needed a structure. So one of the key things that was done was to create a structure for the program. Secondly, was to target new groups of beneficiaries, which are women, youth, and rural farmers. And also another thing that was done was to increase the trader money loan account.
She further tells us how the beneficiaries for the GEEP program get enrolled.
One of the things the ministry did to restructure the program was to open up desk offices in every local government in the country. Currently, the ministry is partnering with the National Orientation Agency as one of the implementing partners, because National Orientation Agency is one of the agencies of federal government that has a top-bottom representation at all levels of government. So the ministry tapped into the structure, the local government structure of the NOA, where they have the community orientation and mobilization officers named as the COMOs. So these are the GEEP desk officers in the local government areas. These GEEP desk officers have been trained. We trained them annually. We trained them last year. We're just about to train them on registration and digitization. They have been equipped to register beneficiaries. So beneficiaries register at their own will. We don't select beneficiaries. We just define the criteria of beneficiary selection. So they go on their own.
Because the federal government intends to maintain the GEEP program as a loan scheme, the Humanitarian Ministry came up with measures to ensure beneficiaries repay their loans. The first was to partner with a reputable financial institution that would come up with a suitable loan recovery framework.
A lot of banks applied, but I guess after due process was followed, Access Bank got the bid to partner with the ministry to implement the GEEP program. So one of the things Access Bank did was to bring out a map, timelines, a framework on how they intend to help recover those funds. And one of the key measures that was put in place was to consistently sensitize beneficiaries via text messages, informing them that the GEEP program is a loan and it will be repaid, is not a grant. And these are the processes of how you can repay.
Other loan recovery strategies Access Bank intends to implement include reminding beneficiaries of their loan due dates via phone call, working with bank agents located in all 774 local government areas of the country, insurance on each loan in case of death or any form of disaster, implementing the Global Standing Instruction GSI policy by the CBN, which allows banks to debit accounts of loan holders in other banks to settle defaults. Part of the restructuring of the GEEP was to identify key partners that would help in the implementation of the program. Aside Access Bank PLC, other partners include the National Orientation Agency NOA, state governments, Enumeration Technical Consultants, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, and some of its agencies such as Institute of Agricultural Research, National Agricultural Production Research Institute, National Agricultural Extension and Research Liaison Services. Various service providers are also partners in the program.
The program is Service to Humanity. The N-Build is a unit of the NSIP, which in turn is a component of the Npower. It is aimed at providing the most needed skills to young men and women with a view to empowering them. The beneficiaries are equipped with different skills like carpentry and joinery, electrical installation, masonry and tiling, plumbing and pipe fitting, and many more. Tonight, we shall feature a trip of our crew to Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, to see activities and progress of the N-Bill beneficiaries in the state. Let's see how it went.
The GEEP post will be in the center of the building.
The Ogun State beneficiaries of the N-Bill were already almost rounding up their 3-month in-center training when we visited the training center. They have been receiving training of carpentry, electrical works, masonry and plumbing. We arrived when they were writing their exit assessment test, which would certify them qualified for the next stage, which is a 6-month apprenticeship program. Taking a tour of the center, we noticed significant progress in the training they have acquired, as some of them, like those in the carpentry unit, had already constructed home furniture like side stools and shoe racks. Builder Yinka Olatunji, the center head, speaks on the attitude of the beneficiaries towards themselves and their trainees.
They relate very well as colleagues, and then with their trainers, they also relate very well as well. And so the environment is okay. As you can see, it's conducive for learning. And so there isn't any constraint or restraints or anything that I would say is not making them to really flow very well with what we're doing here.
Olatunji also speaks on the benefits of the N-Build program to the beneficiaries.
They never knew all the things that was being taught in this place. And now, things that they previously do invite artisans to do for them, they can do it on their own. And they can set up a shop and start their own small business because they are not novice in that trade again. Somebody that learns electrical here can even start electrical shops, sell the items, and then do some contracted work because they taught them about conduiting, surface, and all those things. So if somebody says, oh, I have this shop, I want to do wiring, those are little things that they can still cope with.
Salami Oladele, instructor for electrical works, speaks on the training his trainees went through.
I'm able to take them the practical aspect of the electrical and the theoretical aspect of the electrical. And in one of the theoretical aspect that is very, very important that I have taught them is safety in electrical installations and the communications in the electrical works in terms of the team works, how they should do it when they get to the sites. And in terms of the practical aspect of it, although we are unable to do much because the time factors is very limited, so we are able to do little part of the electrical in terms of the surface wiring systems, conduit wiring systems. Those are the trunking system as well. So we are able to touch those areas before they start the exit exams they are doing today.
Instructor for masonry, Balogun Usman, shares with us areas he trained the beneficiaries.
We started from introducing them to the basic knowledge of the masonry aspect of building. We taught them from site clearing, the professionals involved in the construction of buildings, and we also taught them foundation and how to set block, then the lintel, the arcs, the roof, openings in buildings like the windows and the doors, and we are able to touch tiling aspect also, how to lay ties, how to calculate for ties, how to do estimation for building. And after that, we are able to teach them building services like the electrical aspect of it, the basic knowledge about it, and those that they're supposed to work with to achieve the success of a building.
Ajayi Olukayode, instructor for plumbing, speaks on areas he has trained beneficiaries under his care and their response.
We have been able to introduce them to plumbing, the type of pipes, since pipe is the medium of carrying water, and the materials pipe is made of, inspection chamber, installation of some basic plumbing fittings, and also the basic knowledge of drilling borehole and rainwater gutter pipes, and then inspection chamber, how to treat waste effluent from the house.
Bankole Taiwo, who is a student, is a trainee under the carpentry unit. He speaks on the training he has acquired.
They've taught us a kind of theory, after which we went into field work. We've done a kind of practical. At least we have done shoe rack, we have done tables as well. In fact, some of the students even assist us when we are doing some things. And they also did children and baby wardrobe, which we are all there. We see them how they do it. We also assist them in cutting of the ball and screwing it.
Taiwo speaks on the impact of the training on his life.
I am very sure if we can be given the requirement, the tools to carry out the operations as regards this carpentry work, I'm very sure it will add value to my own life. It will impact into my own life because it will be a means of income to my own personal self and my family. At least I should be able to feed my family through this because we have learned a lot. And with the little thing we have learned, I am telling you, madam, if you have anything, if you have like compound you want to make now, you can call on me. I will help you to do it and you will like it very.
Aderotimi Oluwatosin, a plumbing trainee, got enrolled into the NBuild program just after acquiring a bachelor's degree in agricultural sciences. She shares her journey through the training.
Starting from the beginning of the course, we're talking about who a plumber is, the safety guide that you must maintain on the site as a plumber. Then in the training aspect, I really learned a lot of things. Like we went to sites, so I was able to handle a hammer, to lay pipe and the like. So a few things.
Oluwatosin speaks on her plans for the future.
One of the things that my trainer was able to made me enjoy the class was each time I talk about, okay, I'm an agriculturist, and you'd be like, you can easily install drip on your farm yourself with the knowledge you have, even without employing anyone. So I've really gathered knowledge that it will help me, even if I want to do anything on my farm that has to do with water and all the likes. I may not be able to do it perfectly, but at least I will just need an helping hand because I have an idea of it.
Yusuf Morenikeji, who is a trainee of masonry, was a part-time private teacher. He speaks on how the training would impact on his life.
Then I know nothing about it, but now I've learned something. And again, secondly, with what I know and what I've learned, I should be able to create a new ways for myself in earning more income than what I've been earning before.
That is our package for this week. Until I come your way again next week, stay safe. Remember to send in questions and suggestions to any of our social media platforms or drop a message on the ministry's page on Facebook or Twitter. Have a great week ahead.